Hey, today we're going to be talking about loading up or ramping up for a density workout. Now, sometimes it's a new concept, all right? Perhaps when we go to the gym normally, we're not kind of used to this kind of way of training, but by ramping up our sets over time, I'm going to explain a little bit about what it means. It just helps us avoid injuries, it allows us to see continual progress. We're not shooting to fatigue every single set, and every single rep, and every single week. So if we're doing an incline bench press, for instance, Joel is going to take the 12 and a half to start with. We're going to go for 10 reps, all right? So Joel's going to hit his 10 reps up. The 12 and a half will be fairly comfortable. And in a 12-minute time span or 10 minutes, whatever time you have, the first set will always be relatively light to just get the CNS system firing, get that pattern of the movement firing, create the muscle connection, mind muscle connection, and just to, I guess, perfect that form a little bit. We don't need to jump straight to a heavy set right from the start, right? Because perhaps we're not fired up enough, we're not ready enough, we're not primed enough to be able to do that. So he'll do this 12 and a half for 10 reps. Joel then perhaps go to another exercise, or may spend a minute just resting in between, depending on what the rest ratio is on the board, if there's a couple of exercises. From that, Joel will then go from a 12 and a half to a 15. So not a huge jump, just the next set up. Okay, Joel will then hit his, you're gonna get fatigued quickly, isn't it? But see the speed of movement now, okay? It's a nice 2 seconds down, 1 second up for rest. There's great stability, open up the chest. The movement is the same, all right? What we want to make sure is that every single set, regardless of whether it's light or whether it's heavy, each rep looks the same and it's same intent and same focus per rep. I'm not sure how many reps that is about. One more down, right, good. Go ahead and drop it in, okay? But see how the progress here between weights and between sets isn't like 15 to a 25 to a 45. It's just small incremental. So it may take you like a week or two to fully understand in terms of the transition of weights and what they need to be, but we don't need to go super heavy. All right, so maybe Joel knows that his heavy set is 20s. I'm sure he can do like 35, whatever, but for this case, we're gonna do 20s, right? So this set for Joel, maybe a little restriction. Maybe it's on 2 warm-up sets where they're quite light, but this set here may become a little bit more tougher. So you can see perhaps his speed of movement is a little bit slower, but still on the RP, so scale of 1 to 10, how intense the workout is, or the exercise is, maybe it's still like a 6 or 7 out of 10, yeah? So you can get that through those 10 reps. See, there's no fatigue, there's no slowing of the movement still. The speed of the arms down and up is still there. The form is still exactly the same, all right? If you didn't know any better, you'd think the first set to the third set there is exactly the same weight, all right? And then as we get to his working sets, Joel will then probably pick up, obviously, another heavier set. All right, obviously don't go just yet, dude. Yes, but maybe this set that Joel does now is a little bit slower. So you're pretty, I don't know how fatigued you are in these 4 sets. Let's try again, let's go. So then Joel goes on to his 4th set. Maybe this is the start of his working sets that he does. And maybe you can see there's a little bit more focus and you can see through his body, his hands are a little bit shaking. The speed is generally the same still. Good. And you can now just start to see on the way up, it starts to slow down. Yeah, there it is. Good man. Perfect. Drive, good. You can see more effort into this exercise. There you go, a bit of grimace in the face. Good, right, nice. Perfect. But Joel still managed 10 reps. Alright, but you can see there that he didn't need a spot, but maybe the second and third set he does at that weight, he might need a spot for maybe a 9th or 10th. Maybe just hands on this underneath to reassure him, but not necessarily dominate and overtake the exercise itself. So that's how we would ramp up. We'd start light, we'd maybe do 2 or 3 warm-up sets, getting to our top sets, which would be 20, 25, or whatever weight you choose. But then those are sets that count, those are sets that work. As you can see with Joel, is pretty fatigued. The speed of movement will slow down. There's a little bit shaking his head, a bit of sweat on. All right, and you can see a little bit of grimace in his face. All right, that's where we need to be. If the weights aren't going up, obviously we jumped up too high, right? And obviously if on the way up, maybe on the 3rd or 4th rep that we do, it's taking longer than 3 or 4 seconds to drive up, we've probably gone and jumped too heavy, all right? One other thing to notice as well is that You need rest in between, all right? Otherwise, if we just go from 15 to 17 to 20, 22 and a half to 25, like that, you're going to be fatigued really quickly, but never work up to true maximum because you pre-fatigue yourself too early. If that makes sense. So give yourself time to recover, to replenish, and then we can obviously build up from there. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Sweet. Take it easy.